So this is a quote from my friend Pat Fish, who said that Spacemen 3 were taking drugs so other people don't have to, which is save you a lot of money and hangovers. Taking drugs to make music, to take drugs too. This seems to be a phrase that people have taken to heart regarding Spacemen 3. It is fairly shocking, I suppose, and it certainly was at that point in the 80s when the overwhelming message being beamed at us loud and clear from every billboard and public information broadcast was, just say no. Just say no. Simple. Except, of course, it wasn't, and it never had been. It was like saying, just accept life is shit and get on with it. At least for those of us with the fever to change our minds and no idea how to do it in any other way. Just say no. I love the just in that phrase. Just say no. Like it was the easiest thing in the world. Although just saying no might have been an ideal, we were living in a far from ideal world. This was the height of the war on drugs cooked up by Ronnie Reagan and his creepy wife Nancy one night after a couple of strong cocktails and some slimming pills. Margaret Thatcher loved the idea. It was war. It was tough on drugs, but mainly it was tough on the users of drugs. Fuck those hippies, beatniks and Rastafarians. It was just like that upstanding paragon of human decency Richard Nixon had foreseen all those years previously. It had been his bright idea to wage war on drug users in the first place. Making your natural opponents illegal was an effective way to make life difficult for them. Those druggies weren't going to vote for the joyless embrace of a solid career and boring sex in some miserably over-mortgaged fuck hutch at the edge of despair. Just say no. Pleasure was for the weak, and this was the time of personal responsibility. If you had any problems, they were your fault, and you should just bloody well sort them out and pull your socks up, or die and let the strong trample your broken body into the earth as fertilizer, or something. There was no such thing as society, or so we had been told by our swivel-eyed iron lady of the psychopathic stare. Unfortunately, we were in a band, which is a fairly social thing to do, so we were understandably a bit confused about society, and we took drugs. We were never going to agree with our leaders. We had been educated about drugs, in a way. There'd been Zammo, the stereotypical smackhead from our school days soap opera Grange Hill. Nobody wanted to be like Zammo, who in the course of about a month of episodes went from being a lovable character to a shuffling zombie. Why didn't Zammo put us off? I wonder why Zammo did heroin. Probably some drug pushers gave him some drugs outside the school playground and then he was gone. One of the less than human hordes who would nick your telly and stab your dog for a fix. We didn't want to be like Zammo, and we didn't want to die of ignorance either, as the terrifying new public information films about AIDS warned us with the weight of the crashing tombstone that ended that particular advertisement for life. It didn't stop us sharing needles with every thief, drug casualty and decrepit specimen in our small rugby underworld. It didn't mean that clean needles suddenly became available either. What the fuck was wrong with us? There was quite a lot wrong with us actually. And some of it was a direct consequence of years of disastrous policing and the attitudes of the people around us. Of course, we had personal problems too, but nobody wanted to talk about them. Just say no to everything, including rational debate and harm reduction.